G'day, this is John Barry. I just wanted to quickly give you a overview of how you can use an Android device, which I'm using right here, to run Lightroom CC. So if I was to go back out, we can see that I've got Lightroom CC, and that loads up in here. If I go to this Acme Wonderland, you'll see there's a few photos there. And then if I was to also go on my desktop version, you'll see that I've got the same photos that are syncing up into this as well. Just show you here another one. So the Instameets one, for example, and then back and Instameets right there. And you can see how that synchronizes against what's been done. So there's a couple of photos in here that I've worked on, and I've made adjustments to them while I've been out and about, and then they've synchronized, and I've had those changes update in here. So that's how you're going to get away with using the Windows and a device that's Android, because Rush is not available on Android just yet. So now there we go, we've got the iPad running here, and we're going to launch Rush. All right, let me just close all these other ones down, and we can see here that we've got Rush working on this side. I might just push that over to the side there and and this can come in its place by moving that over there. Cool. Now, this is to show you how it works. This is not to show you how to do the demo, okay? Up to you. Definitely make full screen. Make the experience a little bit of a stop-start experience where they might start on the mobile device and then make their way over to the desktop, and or vice versa, back. So let's start with a project here, and I'm going to try to load a new asset. So let's have a look at my Creative Cloud files, branding, bumpers. This is a very quick animated logo. Right, I can tap on this to look at the video really big. And then if I wanted to add that, I can tick the little box and you can see it's added it down here. And click on this little icon here to bring it back down. So I'll make that selection, plus I'll get my sample media. I've got some audio, and I got these guys and this. Cool. I highly recommend you go out and shoot something of yourself, what you want to do, whatever the storyline is. There's a competition, whatever. Let's give this a name. Okay, I'm going to sync with the Creative Cloud, and we'll copy the media as well. So we'll hit create and watch all this populate. The one thing that's actually happening in the background is the Creative Cloud is actually going to actively move around these files and start pushing them up. So here, this is where the syncing is occurring, and that is showing that the files that have been brought in are actually being synchronized up. So immediately the project file, which is very small, has been launched and is active here, called YouTube Social Team, but the overall upload of everything hasn't yet finished. So let's have a look at the files, hit play, and it looks like I've got a couple of files here that haven't quite made it yet. Might make my quality set to low. Yeah, good. Looks like it's going to take a little bit before it syncs it up. All right, cool. So the last thing I want to do on just getting this edit up and running is trim that down, double tap in here, grab this shot actually. So I want to, because this is locked to this, they're actually joined together with this tiny little orange line. I need to open that up and lock this, and then grab that and move it around the other way. Oh, I just made that mute, not locked. Lock, grab it, move it. So now I've got that vision coming up at the end, which I might make it start there, trim it, delete the selection, unlock, And away we go. Cool. So yeah, play with all the different features that are here. As you're using it, I'm sure you'll work out what is cool. The main thing that we really want to be able to portray, though, is that the editing experience is pretty simple. Being able to add a voiceover, which I'll do right now. Okay, so we hit this button here. You saw how we had a quick countdown leader there, 3, 2, 1, and go. So now this is recording into the project. I'm able to sample what's happening at the same time. So as I'm speaking, I'm saying what is relative to what we're seeing. These couple are walking down and explaining what they're doing today for their vlog. All right, so now that's my little voiceover. And let's turn off for this audio here for that clip. We'll say we're done now with the recording. So we've got the video clip selected. We'll make the audio mute. This one, while that's still selected, it's still popping in. So that's voice that's been optimized. And then here we want to hit the auto duck, and you'll see how that dip takes place. We might duck it a bit less. We might expand that out. And then as we move this, you'll see how moving that around will move this around too. And I think that's a cool thing to be able to show, that that is now something that as we trim it, that it interacts there like this. So it sounds good. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so now that's a recording of voiceover that is going to have to synchronize as well. So we do need to make sure, as you're shooting it, you want to make sure that this is finished before you jump into the next scene or the next moment, a bit later in time. Okay, so we can see that the files are all up to date. Let's just put that in the background and take a look at our version on iOS. So I'm just going to close this one off, actually, and then relaunch it. And then it should give me a nice little update. Or will it? Let's see. Let's tap on it here. I'm pretty sure it's all going to come through. Needs to sync down now to my device. So this is another area we're just going to have to wait on a bit. It's getting there. We've got 3 of 5 files. Now all of those different instructions of what we did, I put the voiceover in. I've added to the audio under advanced, the auto ducking. The value that I reduced it by is updated as well. This is recognized that it is optimized audio, optimized volume for voice. It's figured all of this out. All that's translated very quickly. We just need to wait for that to completely finish updating. And then it will be on like Donkey Kong. All right, let's take a look now. I think there we go, it's finished. So we go back over to here and now we get our nice little updated logo. So on the desktop version, we pop back out to home and it should give us the same look and feel. So there we go. Take a look now into what's happened here. And again, we can continue to do things like trimming that out and see how that reacts. And then, you know, a nice reaction to all these little changes that make making a video really easy to do. Let's see, I might do a couple different things here, like on the edit side, advanced, make that a vignette. And then I might bring the highlights down a bit and just punch that vibrance up a little as well, make it a bit warmer looking. Cool. So all those little bits and pieces of instruction, that's all comes through nice and quick. And we've got our little tag there at the end as well. A little crossfade on the end. Set that up. So it's a 3-second one, maybe trim it, make it a bit longer. Sweet. Cool, huh? All looking very good. And that is automatically continuing to synchronize what changes I've been making to this. And then that will update back on the version that's on the desktop. So we'll just check that syncing process. It's almost completely finished there. And make sure on the desktop that this starts to sync once this is finished doing its job. But let's take a look, see what we get when we open it up. Okay, vignette's there. The extension of the edit is also there. And there you go, the fade down is there as well. Cool. So the last thing you need to really be aware of is exporting out. So that'll happen very, very quickly. So the share functionality, and I'll just bring it up on the iOS version 2, because you get to choose whichever way you want to do this. So share, turn on camera roll. There's a couple of options in here. I'd say probably use this user interface because this is a bit richer. If we're on YouTube, we can jump into there, and I'm already signed in. So I can go through my playlists. I can give this a name. And then I can start to set up how that goes, tags, use a current frame. Let's see, I might go to there. Or if you really want to get creative, you can hit the upload button. Now, what's cool about the upload button is you're able to add a picture that you've already gone and utilized. So here's a trip, me going to Bali. Put that in as the thing. Now, this is where it gets cool because you can tie everything back together with doing something from Lightroom.